Could you imagine the sounds, the sights, the smells in East Los Angeles on that day in 1992? What about the people? Can you imagine what was going through their heads as the rage swept the rage swept them and the streets? It's one of those times when you never know how you'll act until you're in that situation. Twilight was loud, it was vocal. It allowed us as readers to visualize and hear the words of people that were involved and present. We are introduced to strong emotions, devastation, hate, passion, and truth. It represents change writing in such a unique way that readers build a relationship with these characters as if we are the ones interviewing them. In order to understand and feel the emotions these people face during this time, you need to be open and willing to connect. Not building an opinion towards the story, but listening and soaking up what is going on during that time. Change writing isn't about opinions. It's not about getting the reader to think exactly how you think. It's about conducting the reader to understand what you as the writer have faced and been through. The verdict was wrong, justice was needed, and these people wanted everyone to know. Anna Deaver Smith's Twilight is vehement and radiates so many auras throughout. We enter a world that was once broken, not in seek to repair it, but to respect and support the souls that were involved. Twilight offers multiple viewpoints from different races and ethnicities that allows the reader to listen to people who were involved in the same incident but affected differently. Most likely, we will never meet the people interviewed, but we can share their stories with others and pass on the message. Being supportive of what one another has been through and being kind to their past. It's important to respect another's journey and recognize that it's not about forming an opinion or trying to get that one person on your side, but to embolden others to stand for what they believe in. Anna Deaver Smith encourages actions through others' experience. She manifested no fear and wrote Twilight in hope of connecting to the world. And as Mary Pfeiffer states in Writing for Change, we can support and influence people we will never meet. Even though we don't know or aren't familiar with one another, we still need to take time to listen and form a bond. We can't learn or grow if we are repetitive and not willing to evolve or transform. Stepping out of our comfort zone is the only way we can learn to communicate with someone different than you and I. The characters in Smith's play aren't worried about other opinions. They want to be respected and heard. It is inevitable people will have different thoughts and different ways they go about things. However, we can generate kindness and positivity by accepting diversity. Smith interviews Stanley K. Sheinbaum, former president of the Los Angeles Police Commission, who implies, "This is a shot I had at talking to these curious people whom I know nothing and I want to learn." We don't have to agree. We can come to a common ground using communication and integrity. We need to be focused and aware so we as a community and the world can come together and facilitate change. The characters in Twilight were brave, an open book, effective. We were invited to enter the raw truth. You don't always have to agree with what others say, but you should always respect and try to understand. Throughout the play, we are introduced to characters from all over Los Angeles: store owners, civilians, neighborhood kids, the Los Angeles Police Department. Smith gives us different points of view throughout the play so we can get a better understanding of what is happening during that time from different perspectives. We want to recognize and appreciate others' story as much as possible so we can spread the message. Change writing is all about language and communicating your experience so others can learn and become involved. Smith does an impeccable job giving us a plethora of language through attitude, the way the words are spelled, and the format of the text. Without language and communication, we wouldn't be able to portray the message we want others to hear. Pfeiffer reveals that people attend, remember, and are transformed by stories. There is no right or wrong way to tell a story. Quote, "In such a community of learning, there is no failure. It's about touching, teaching, and identifying with one another on a different level. But if you are not willing to get to know your neighbor or the person next to you, how do you expect to progress?" Quote, it was due to lack of getting to know people that come to your store. Smith teaches us that it is important to become familiar with your surroundings, and it's not all about what is yours and only yours. Expanding your inner circle and connecting with everyone is important. As Smith states, I can't forever dwell in darkness. I can't forever dwell in the idea of just identifying with people like me and understanding me and mine. Anna Deaver Smith demonstrates that nobody is wrong for their stories. We all have our own, but we need to respect and learn about others and become patient and allow our fellow neighbors to guide us to a new or different perspective. Building up courage and trusting the world with your story so others can unite and become knowledgeable is scary and intrusive. We are hoping and predicting that we will not be judged for our own experiences. We want people to become involved and put themselves in different shoes for that very moment. Change writing isn't hiding behind the truth. It's accepting our past and making progress towards equality and change. Smith portrays brotherhood in Twilight and wants the reader to connect to each character. During one of the scenes, Smith interviews a director of a company whom states, we're going to have to be patient. We're going to have to be resolute. That this is all going to someday, whether it's 5 or 10 years, be a safe, pleasant city for everybody, regardless of where they live or what they do or what the color of their skin is. We don't have to be the same. We don't have to come from the same background, but we should try to understand how each other feels and why. The only way to progress and move forward is accepting difference. Not one person is the same. And as Pfeiffer says in Writing for Change, I encourage you to tackle the job of turning our world into a brotherhood and brother and sisterhood. Encourage patience and positivity so we can grow as a unit, and no matter our differences, we appreciate each other for who we are and what we've been through. Twilight emulates Writing for Change, helping us as readers to encourage and foster awareness. We are offered so many views and perspectives throughout. We aren't limited to just one story. We're able to see and feel how inequality, judgment, and hate can cause such rage and anger. Twilight expresses many emotions, allowing us as readers to travel through time and experience such a detrimental experience to many others. Twilight is passionate and open, so we identify, communicate, and grow from the past. The end. The end.